Alan cannot compare himself to Dr. Bawumia in any way. Maybe he's older than Dr. Bawumia, that's it. But what has Alan Martin done that he's talking about Dr. Bawumia? That's an inflated view of his own performance. Chief, we name Nepa, but more Kuffour.
Pual Adom Otchere, that's package on Alan Martin. Nina said, after Kuffour endorsed Bawumia, so your best candidate among the rest, no, like Omamu pre for a year, 2024, no, or say Bawumia the best candidate. Alan Martin, Abachira Naju, say Kuffour one yard, or no, or a big man bet one yard, there's aside there Kuffour say. When Chira the crown put to Bawumia, ya say Bawumia the best candidate. And then I'm so ma Pual Adom Otchere about to be a ma. Could you Alan Martin? Where your introduction?
Alan Martin. I know his relationship with John Kuffour. I know how much John Kuffour wanted to promote Alan Martin. I know how much John Kuffour has endorsed Alan Martin. There's no Alan Martin without a John Kuffour. It is John Kuffour who promoted Alan Martin. From the days of Empretech, it was John Kuffour who made Alan Martin Ghana's ambassador to the United States at the turn of the century. John Kuffour said Alan Martin should go and be the ambassador in America. Alan Martin went to be ambassador, but that's when people who didn't know him from Adisada Lachimota and family, all of us who didn't know him, that's when we heard about him. That, oh, Kuffour had appointed some brilliant young man to Washington to be our ambassador. He was in Washington, he wasn't quite happy with it, he wanted to come down. Again, Kuffour obliged. What did Kuffour do? Kuffour removed a stalwart in parliament, Kofi Kunadu Apreku, member of parliament who had been a stalwart of the MPP. He had been at the backside of, at the side of Professor Dubois to help him to work. And Apreku had been known in Ghana. Apreku was already a big name. Apreku was taken out of trade and Alan Martin was given the job. Alan Martin did the PSI, etc., etc. Not to say much about that. But in the year 2000's campaign, I was there. The MPP had to answer questions on PSI because the NDC was using it. That you did PSI and wasted money. Forget about all that. Then Alan Martin was given significant support from Kuffour's castle in 2007. That's a dead story. Everybody knows that. The sitting president, John Kuffour, was endorsing a candidate in his party. Something that he shouldn't do. In fact, he didn't even do it publicly. But he did it behind the scenes. Water has gone under the bridge. So we now all know what's happened. But John Kuffour supported Alan behind the scenes because he's such a quintessential Democrat. He didn't want it to be obvious. He spoke to Kuffour people as well. But everyone knew that Alan's campaign had been oiled by Kojo Mpianim. Kojo Mpianim, who is Kuffour's chief of staff, continues to speak for Alan. So there's no Alan Martin without J.A. Kuffour. Alan is nothing without J.A. Kuffour. Today, listen to what Alan Martin says about John Kuffour. I'm completely shocked. Why? Does Kuffour own Alan Martin? Is Kuffour for Alan Martin? Is that Alan Martin's property? I don't understand it. Is John Kuffour Alan Martin's property? Is that his property? I don't get it. How can you be unhappy because the leader of the NPP has endorsed the NPP candidates? Is that not natural? And they are asking Kuffour to keep quiet. Alan Martin, what are you talking about? When you were running for presidential aspirants against Nana Addo Dankwa Kuffour, everybody knew that John Kuffour was supporting you. Nobody said anything because Kuffour has a right to choose who he supports in the party. That's the spirit of the NPP as I've seen it. And John Kuffour comes out to endorse his party candidate, and Alan Martin is attacking him. And Alan Martin joins the ranks of the NDC. I was going to use a word for them, but I can't use it. Alan Martin didn't even condemn the insults that he has seen on social media. He has seen it. He actually joins the conversation to abuse the man who made you. The man who made Alan Martin. You sit down and abuse him like that. That's what he has said. That he endorses Dr. Bawumia, his party's candidate. It's a blot on his career. That's what Alan Martin said.
Pual Adom Otchere so on we Abusian or South to also Kabi. Yentis aside so.
Compare yourself to Bawumia. You are trade minister. Bawumia was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. You have been trade minister for 2 terms. He's been vice president and a very, very successful vice president. Alan cannot compare himself to Dr. Bawumia in any way. Maybe he's older than Dr. Bawumia, that's it. But what has Alan Martin done that he's talking about Dr. Bawumia? Dr. Bawumia is deputy governor of the central bank. He has been vice president, an effective one. He has a PhD in economics. He's demonstrated his work. Dr. Bawumia was hired by the AFDB to go and help Zimbabwe. Has Alan Martin forgotten? Please remind Alan Martin. Has he forgotten? Dr. Bawumia was taken by the African Development Bank as an economist with a good brain to go and help Robert Mugabe's Zimbabwe get out of the doldrums of inflation and currency depreciation and all of those economic difficulties. The quagmire, the economic quagmire that Zimbabwe found itself in. The African Development Bank thought that Mahamudu Bawumia is the one to rescue Zimbabwe. Mahamudu Bawumia is a Ghanaian, he's not a Zimbabwean. What is Alan Martin talk? Where is his record? He show us one record. Cassava record. Alan Martin should not let us talk about him. We love him. He should stop that. What record is he talking about? He's comparing himself to Mahamudu Bawumia. Alan Martin. What is he talking about? Does he think we are sleeping? Well, maybe he and his campaign people are sleeping. We are not sleeping, but we love them. Alan Martin cannot compare himself to Bawumia in achievements. Take Kuffour out, take Akufo-Addo out. Put Alan Martin and Bawumia down. What has Alan Martin done in Ghana that is better than what Bawumia has done? I mean, what is he talking? What can Alan Martin point to? What is he going to say? He's going to say that I did an automobile under Akufo-Addo's government, one district, one factory. I did cassava under Kuffour's government. Mahamudu Bawumia, vice president, brought the digitalization. President Akufo-Addo himself acknowledges that this has been an effective vice president. Everybody in Ghana sees that this has been an effective vice president. Forget about vice president. African Development Bank carried Mahamudu Bawumia to Zimbabwe. The chief, come and help. But at that time, Bawumia had never been vice president. He had only been a governor of the deputy governor of the central bank, and that's all the AFDB, that's all the record they had about him. Well, he had taught in Canada, he had taught in Oxford. And that's Bawumia's record. How can Alan Martin compare to Bawumia's record? Even the two of them comparing, Alan Martin does not compare to Bawumia's record. But we love Alan Martin, don't we? But is that how he should treat the love that we have for him? To use the love we have for him to denigrate our godfather? I can't understand this. And people are watching. And Alan Martin he says Kuffour's, play that second Alan video. He talks about Kuffour's political image being blotted. Play that video, the second one.
It has created a big blot on his political career. Once you say them Kuffour, I can't see mom kagezino. Why? Me
Blot on his political career.
Now Kuffour okay, nipa sabi opia when you distinguished career in politics, opia respect you. Really, no no. Do I enye because idea wo ye na enye no wo ye panyina wo ye no bi catch us over idea wo ye nya ese wo jai efiseti o wo ye president he feels so osho when you now show kan ho a Bawumia na the right he's been there before paka man sabi man for so me say dia me ka 17 I'm just looking at the relationship for
Even the MPP ministers said that somebody was sleeping in cabinet. The MPP ministers, they said, oh, somebody was always sleeping in cabinet. They said somebody was sleeping in cabinet all the time. 2018, 2019, somebody was sleeping in cabinet. The MPP ministers have told me. They've told other journalists that somebody was sleeping in cabinet all the time. Now, what Alan Martin just said is more frightening. Is he suggesting, Alan, that he endorses the insults of President Kuffour? Is he suggesting that? Is that what Alan Martin is suggesting? That Kuffour deserves the insults he's getting? He's almost saying that. Play that video again. The one you just played. Please listen. It
has created a big blot on his political career. Once you say them Kuffour, I can't see mom kagezino. Why? Yes, me blot on his political career. Now Kuffour okay, nipa sabi opia when you distinguished career in politics, opia respect you. So Alan is suggesting that the Kuffour has endorsed Bawumia and therefore it brings a blot on his image and that people are going to be attacking him. He's asking the host of the program, have you not seen how people are attacking President Kuffour? That's what he's asking the host of the program. So Alan Martin endorses the horrendous, what word shall I use? I don't want to use those words. The very inappropriate, indecent language that has been used against President Kuffour. Alan Martin says, President Kuffour, he's happy that this Hunto gentleman, the young man called Hunto, sitting on original radio,
is able to say the things about Kuffour that he's saying, and Otchere Martin is suggesting to us tonight that Kuffour has brought these things upon himself. I mean, this is the lowest for Otchere Martin. Such a distinguished man. This is the lowest. Is that how politics can? Is that how when you are not winning politics, this is how you behave? Then I don't want to go to politics and not win. Is this how when you are not winning you behave? Is it some disease?
Ursula Owusu so must say Suma Alan, Yenti Ursula Owusu. Ono de wa say some nukra.
He's a better candidate than any of the two candidates in Mabodi because Kuffour endorsed Bawumia. He's unhappy with it. The Kuffour betraying the trust. So only Kuffour Yejuma for so many years. Kuffour competencies was 70% of Kuffour's policies about Kuffour president. One on the buy. If there's anybody to endorse that, probably could have been him.
Isn't that an inflated view of his own importance?
An inflated view of his own importance? Acknowledging his contribution in Kuffour's administration and the competencies.
President Kuffour ama opportunity to serve in his government. And was say here with them pose out of the millions of Ghanaians, he chose you as Minister for Trade. President Kuffour policy 70% na trade related. Is that what he say? And now he was the only person in Kuffour's government ana wonyansa odwi. Nobody else did anything. That's an inflated view of his own performance. Chief, minim nepa, but more unko. But one thing we should give President Kuffour is say, he's an astute judge of human character, esteemed politician, experienced politician. He's seen it all, from Buzia regime to date, or that you see. And to carry omo ni omo aye adwuma ni nyinara, and onim won wait. And to ne oba no obeka say, I know all of them. Omo mo jani nyina minimo. Na baby wiase ekoi. Me de me feel say ye toma Dr. Bawumia ebeboa Ghana. Boni ben why? And no crap he should in all humility have accepted say, oh, me offer. Woni me sign, woni me pa. No bia nim say Alan de Kuffour nipa.
Yes. Exactly the point.
All the more reason why he should have listened in all humility to Kuffour assessment. No, President Kuffour on yet because of pay ASM and no PBSM. Ghana ye yenti. And I want to see Susu who say in Pempenswa ye drui. Any abe from Sisaya, a tumpon di hiniwo, Rasia Fanene. Candidates ye jine nara. The only one who's articulated a vision for the digital economy is Dr. Bawumia. He is the only one who can move us into the fourth industrial revolution. He is the one who has the ideas, the vision, the knowledge. Ebe to me amma Ghana etumpon. Enti Alan me do pa nanso wedie adabraka janchen. Timene nanka on the basis of that ne krapo no. Mene me sum ye be kwa kasa na maka se anamu mebisa me ho se anamu ya me tui. Ebeboa oman Ghana and ebeboa Otchere Martin.
Okay.
So am I doing this for my own personal benefit?
What do you think? What was your suspicion?
Ask him.
But what's your suspicion? What are you mother? What's your name? The chief, which way?
Very well.
Right.
He's a great friend of mine.
Yeah.
I think he's making a big mistake.
He's making a big mistake?
Absolutely. I think so. And President Kuffour's assessment of all the candidates and declaration of support for Dr. Bawumia should make him sit up. Instead, say, Obebo President Kuffour Chino. Said the OC can from station to station. Many na, and I will sit back and soberly assess the situation and take a decision. Say, maybe Kuffour's right. Maybe me ankasa me personal ambition a cloud me judgment kakra. And it yesi utrasa uhuechi. Ni ojina nchane me be to me achira ose ne wo ye no wo chia no. Maybe this is the time for him to take assess his own campaign, his own chances, and evaluate what he brings to the table and see say there are many ways in which we be to me assume one by. Oh my. Nyasa oya mampeni nko ana abe to me.